Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday Night Raw. This is WWE 2K24 Universe Mode episode 266. As tonight we come to you live from Orlando, Florida, as we are just 2 weeks away from the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. Welcome to the show, folks. I am Callum, otherwise known as the KO King. Welcome to KO Productions and welcome to what is promising to be another action-packed episode of Monday Night Raw. Welcome to the flagship, folks. Let's not waste any further time and get straight into the action here tonight. Here we go then, man. Let's get to work. And tonight we're kicking it off with some women's division action, featuring former Women's World Champion and the woman who came very close and winning the Elimination Chamber matchup at No Way Out back in Perth, Australia a couple of weeks ago. The man, Becky Lynch, has arrived in Orlando.
Is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring from Dublin, Ireland, Becky Lynch.
That was in the final two of the Women's Elimination Chamber matchup in Perth at No Way Out, where it was Becky Lynch and the Genius of the Sky, Io Sky. Io getting the win in the end, winning the Women's Elimination Chamber matchup. And the one-time NXT star, then turned SmackDown star, now turned Raw star, is going to be challenging for the Women's World title, held by her best friend, one of her greatest, closest friends, in Kabuki Warrior stablemate, Kairi Sane. Women's World title on the line in a Kabuki Warrior showdown, Sane and Sky do battle at WrestleMania. A lot of massive marquee matches already set up for WrestleMania, a part of both the red brand and the blue brands. We've still got even more to get through, as well as do you see Becky Lynch making her way to the ring. But face it tonight, if you guys couldn't tell already, it is going to be the winner of the Women's Elimination Chamber and the number one contender for the Women's World title, Io Sky. Io Sky put on a hell of a showing at No Way Out Premium Live event. So did Becky Lynch. It was a hell of a Women's Elimination Chamber contest. Absolutely chaotic as 6 women threw their bodies on the line, all for the opportunity to challenge for the Women's World title. Only one star, that woman being Io Sky, was the one to get the win, and the one going to WrestleMania to challenge her best friend Kairi Sane, who you gotta imagine is going to be watching all of this match very closely now. She knows she is facing Io Sky, because Jade Cargill would not select her opponent after winning the Women's Royal Rumble. She would not select her opponent at WrestleMania until she did it last week on SmackDown, or a number of weeks ago rather. And she's done it now, picking the Queen Charlotte Flair over on SmackDown. But more to that when we get to the blue band. But right now it's Io Sky, Becky Lynch, reliving the final two and the Women's Chamber matchup that also consisted of Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Asuka and Bayley. Is Io prevailing on that night? Chad Patton Ross, senior official, ringing the bell. Here we go, folks. Matchup on their way. Becky Lynch, Io Sky, a huge test for Io on her official Monday Night Raw debut as Io in the Double H. We're in the midsection of the man. And let's not forget what Io Sky done in her SmackDown debut this series. Answered an open challenge from the now WWE Women's Champion, the Queen Charlotte Flair, who back then was not the champion, Bianca Belair was. But Charlotte at that moment in time was the rightful number one contender after beating Belair in non-title action for the WWE Women's title, with Sky making her debut to the series, pinning Charlotte Flair clean smack dab in the center of the ring, adding herself to the matchup for the WWE Women's title at Clash at the Castle, getting pinned by Bianca, then losing out to Charlotte Flair. Came very close in gauntlet matches at Evolution and on SmackDown for number one contendership, but did come up so close in the Royal Rumble as well, making it to the final two before being eliminated by the Rumble winner Jade Cargill. We know Jade's challenging Charlotte, but he'll get her win back winning the Chamber, and she'll be challenging Kairi Sane, a woman she knows very well, for the Women's World title at WrestleMania. But Becky Lynch is going to try and hold her momentum for the time being in her opening contest tonight in Orlando. Io Sky, though, center of the ring is Becky, and from the middle rope flying down, taking out the man. And Becky Lynch in trouble big time. Bex, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, women's wrestlers of all time. It's not just her saying it. Sports Illustrated says it. Chicago Times says it. Everybody damn says it. Even everybody here in Orlando. And Io Sky maybe said it tonight. But right now, Becky Lynch. Beautiful maneuver there. Head first goes Sky. Nice pinning predicament cover. And a 2. And a kick, yeah. Io able to stay in it, at least for the time being, here live in our opening matchup on Monday Night Raw. Io rolling to the floor. Trying to catch a breather. Becky not going to let her do so. Tope with a crossbody now at ringside. Taking out the genius of the Sky now on the floor. And I'm going to send Io back here in a squared circle. Becky Lynch perched up. High rate district. Lynch looking to put Sky down here. And an opening match over the ball like around. Penny predicament. Gotta love it when Becky pulls off that maneuver. Come on, 2 for the 1 and a kick out by Io Sky once more. Oh man. Io Sky beating Charlotte Flair in her first match on SmackDown. Let's see if she can knock off another legend in the form of Becky Lynch in her first match on Monday Night Raw. She already pinned Becky, eliminating her last to win the Women's Elimination Chamber matchup at No Way Out. Can she get the win here and go on to WrestleMania with all the momentum in the world against her good friend Kairi Sane with the Women's World title on the line? It was a couple of weeks ago here on Raw where Sane defeated fellow Japanese superstar and fellow Kabuki Warriors teammate and the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. Having the rubber match between those two superstars as it was one apiece before that. Kairi making it 2-1. Retaining that title a number of weeks back on Raw. A over the air raid crash, however, on Becky Lynch. The cover and a kick out at 1 by Becky. When we talk about Becky Lynch being the greatest female wrestler of all time, but let's talk about Io Sky being one of the best wrestlers, full stop, on the planet right now at this given moment. And you can't argue with the fact as Io Sky puts on classic after classic. Bridget German, almost enough for the 3. Just 2 and change there for Io Sky, but it's Becky running back in with a clothesline. A devastating clothesline, clearing the clock of Io, and it takes her down, wrestling her to the mat to disarm her. Disarm her submission, 0 6 then tight. Referee Chad Parrott to see if Sky will tap out or pass out due to the pain, and if she does, Becky Lynch will score a massive win over the number 1 contender for the Women's World title. What's Io gonna do? Writhing in agony. Becky let disarm her since then the senior official looks on. Oh, God, able to get out of it as Io Sky somehow pushing away. Oh, Becky Lynch, and I would say, yo, massive forearm, massive kicks. Io Sky got Becky right where she wants with a Showtime palm strike. And Becky Lynch rolling in the corner. Io Sky admiring her handiwork here tonight, live in Orlando, Florida. Episode 266 of this Universe Most Series is right now. Io Sky gonna perch up Becky Lynch at the top of the Showtime. Both women. Very curious possession here is Io Sky. Oh, baby, with a Spanish fly. Io Sky, incredible offense there. Getting in for the cover. To get the one over the man, a pinner for the second time in the series. To kick ya. Io could not find success over in NXT where she started off in this series, having multiple occasions on losing, and the NXT Women's title being on the line. Let's not forget Io Sky in the first round of the inaugural NXT Championship Tournament defeating Kairi Sane. And now that's the WrestleMania match that is going to be going down this year for the Women's World Championship. But Becky Lynch wants to maybe insert herself into that match, but a win here can certainly do so, as Becky wants badly to become a 2-time Women's World Champion. Had a 167-day reign that she won at SummerSlam after cashing in her Women's Money in the Bank contract. She won at Money in the Bank and cashed in ahead of time for a scheduled match against champion Sasha Banks. Beat her on that night before losing it at King of the Ring on the 27th of April to none other than Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss, see on WWE Dark shortly. But now Becky in for the cover, scoring 2, and a kick out by Io Sky, or rather Alexa Bliss we have already saw on WWE Dark, because we saw it last weekend, or just last week, there in the last week, is Alexa Bliss able to defeat Naomi in what might be her last match here in this series. Last time to make an impression for Becky Lynch could be, because Io Sky's going to Mania. Becky may not join her if she taps or passes out to the pin here. Koji clutched by Sky since then tight. Japan ready to see if Becky will submit. See if she'll give it. If she does, Sky has all the momentum in the world. And our title match with Sane at WrestleMania. Look at that, the legs wrapped around the head of Becky. Able to elbow her way free. And a Io Sky rolling to the outside of the ring. Becky Lynch may be looking to fly. Io on the outside. Will she be looking to fly for the second time here? As Becky with a kick. And then Becky off the apron. Nothing flashy, but I'm sure effective. Becky Lynch knife edge. Or at least went for the knife edge. Here we go. On the outside. And AO with a grabber and big maneuver. Slam down. Right up back now to Becky. AO Sky on the apron. Well, you can't win the match about there, Rio, but she's gonna absolutely wow everybody here with that moonsault. The springboard moonsault from the middle rope. Crowd loving it. I'm loving it. AO Sky loving it, but I'll tell you who isn't. That being the man. Becky Lynch. AO. Back in. Tope. Cross body. AO Sky pulling out all the stops as Kairi Sane going to be watching with a massive grin on her face. That is her friend right there. AO Sky and the woman who will be challenging her for the women's world title at WrestleMania. Sky, double jump with a springboard and a drop kick with the referee. Got clipped in the process. Sean Patton got hurt in the process, and AO Sky going to now aid the official up to his feet. That was an inadvertent contact by Becky. Looking to pay off here. Oh yeah. And they paid evidence for the man. With a manhandle slam. AO Sky may have made a crucial mistake, but Sky able to stay in it. Becky thought she had her. She thought she outsmarted Sky. But it ain't over yet as this one continues. We're back live on Monday Night Raw as Becky Lynch once again taking the fight to the Genius of the Sky. And the number one contender falls in a heat now in the center of the ring. Oh, Becky again, this time rolling through straight into the disarmor. Submission cinched down by the referee. Calling for rope break. Sky was right there. Great ring awareness. A veteran instinct on display from AO Sky. But right now it's Becky in for the cover after giving Chad Patton a cheap shot. Down in all his place. Sky kicks out again. And there's AO middle rope. Went for a powerbomb. Oh, went for a Hurricane Rana. But there's a powerbomb by Becky. Beautifully done, Becky coming for the win. 2 on Sky, another near fall. Oh, what action. It's action personified tonight. Becky certainly giving Io a run for her money, vice versa as well. And Io's already pinned her, she wants to do it again. In the corner, Io Sky, the double E's, bullet train attack by Io. And now the Genius of the Sky. Heading up to the top with the over. The moonsault! That'll do it. Sky for the win. Leg hook, shoulders down. Scoring 2 and down. A kick out by Becky. You gotta be kidding me. Unreal, ladies and gentlemen. Io Sky almost beating Becky for the second time in the space of 2 weeks for Becky. Getting that shoulder off the canvas and now it's Io. Look at the crossbar to the outside. Off the top of the springboard by Sky. Taking it to the man, but Becky able to counter with a massive forearm. And a massive shot now. Turning Sky around. And over the outside, Becky Lynch. Manhandle slam on the floor. On the floor. They're going to switch it up and it could be the win right there for the man. Becky going to send number one contender back into the ring. Slides in, shooting the half hook of the leg, shoulders down for the cover. This is it. 2 count. AO Sky kicking out again. Oh, how is she doing this, ladies and gentlemen? What a great way to kick us off tonight in Orlando. Live on Raw. 2 weeks out from WrestleMania. Sky for the one inside quite a small package almost. And the victory right in her back pocket. Now it's Becky. Victory roll to get the victory over the number one contender for the women's world title here on the Red Brand. And her first official Raw debut is Sky, the first superstar to go between all 3 brands here in this series. From NXT first to SmackDown second and Monday Night Raw third. Io nice kick and a big roundhouse. Right at the top of the head of Becky. Heading back up. Sky for the win. Second time made through the Dragon over the moonsault connecting by the number one contender to the cover now. Leg hook shoulders down. There's 2 and Io Sky has pinned Becky Lynch again for the second time here in this series. Well, you would consider an upset, but she's already done it in the chamber and she proved it was no fluke tonight by beating the man, Mono a Mono, here live on the Red Brand. But what a physical battle, what a hell of a matchup, and I cannot wait for the incredibly technically sound, proficient matchup that WrestleMania will provide us. Where the Women's World Championship will be on the line. Io Sky challenging our good friend Kyrie, saying that inaugural Queen of the Ring winner for the gold. It's going down at a grand this season all in just under 2 weeks' time at WrestleMania. You don't want to miss that, folks, as well as you don't want to miss the rest of this action-packed show. As Sky celebrates in triumph, we want to remind you that coming up later on in your main event, United States title on the line, is Randy Orton defending the gold against a man he's defended against before, or a man he's beat before but not in a US title matchup. But a man who's had US title opportunities before, Rob Van Dam. It's your main event later on, but up next we find out who will face the World Tag Champs FTR for the tag team gold at WrestleMania. The finals of the mini tournament commences next. Street Profits and the newly debuted Viking Raiders is next, live on Raw. Well, here we go, folks. We're back live on Raw. How about that for a main event? Randy Orton going to be defending his US title against the man he beat in the first round of the King of the Ring tournament earlier on in the series, and Rob Van Dam. And it's huge stakes for the US title matchup at WrestleMania because last week AJ Styles earned his opportunity. A champion Randy Orton, a long-time rival here in this series, by beating former champion Sami Zayn in a #1 contender match. Styles going to WrestleMania to challenge for the US title. Will it be against Orton one-on-one or Orton and Van Dam? And Van Dam walks out of Orlando tonight, the new United States champion. He's had opportunities before at the US title against the megastar LA Knight, but was unsuccessful. Let's see if he can be successful tonight against the Viper, Randy Orton. But speaking of teams who were successful, or duos, or people in general that were successful, these two men, Dawkins, Ford, last week in the first round of the mini tag title #1 contendership tournament, they defeated the New Day, the most recent team to go after the world tag titles that happened back at No Way Out, and losing effort, of course, to the reigning champions FTR, representing FTRKO, alongside their leader and US champion, the Viper, Randy Orton. But here come the former NXT Tag Team Champions, and now just their second match on the Raw roster here this series. Eric and Ivar, the Viking Raiders, have arrived.
And their opponents, at a combined weight of 552 pounds, Ivar and Eric, the Viking Raiders.
Here we go then, folks. They're the dominant and destructive former NXT Tag Team Champions. Eric and Ivar have arrived. It was a couple of weeks ago on Monday Night Raw where they made their official Red Brand debut, defeating the Dudley Boys of Bubba Ray and Devon to secure themselves this opportunity tonight in the finals of this mini contender tournament. The winners of this go to WrestleMania to face FTR for the World Tag Team titles in just their second match, officially a part of the Monday Night Raw roster. They could be challenging for more gold and could be Double Crown Tag Champs, as they're already former NXT Tag Team Champs. Could be the next World Tag Champs as well. Chad Patton ring the bells. Could be Montez Ford kicking things off with Eric of the Viking Raiders tonight. A couple of weeks ago where Montez Ford failed to secure his spot in the WrestleMania Money in the Bank ladder match, and a losing effort to Ludwig Kaiser, who got the win in another match which features Shinsuke Nakamura. But last week, Ford and Dawkins beating the New Day to secure their opportunity in this contest tonight. But it's Eric with a clothesline, down goes Ford, and then taking Dawkins off the apron, but Montez Ford coming right back in. Beautiful European uppercut there, a drop kick there by Montez Ford, taking down Eric. Look at Montez, oh, and a fly there, not getting any of that. Now it's Eric, the massive kick and a big spinning forearm shot. Down goes Montez, a massive knee, with a Temple of 4. Now Eric in control, former NXT Tag Team Champions battling former World Tag Team Champions. The winners could have the opportunity to be Tag Champs once again. It's Ford, this time connects with that Tornado DDT. Taking out Ivar this time now. And now off another springboard is Montez Ford with his third match of a Monday Night Raw in a row. Week to week in for the cover to make it a victory. Here we go to Mania and a kick out. We know the history between the Street Profits and FTR. Profits beating FTR at Night of Champions in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia back in March to be the new World Tag Team Champions, but then lost them at the Raw before Survivor Series in a ladder match to FTR for the gold on that night. It's FTR who are still the champions, two-time World Tag Team Champions. They'll be holding the gold into WrestleMania as Eric taking down Angelo Dawkins on the outside. Ivar now tagged into the matchup, and Ivar gonna bring Dawkins in the hard way. The two big boys gonna go to work here, live in Orlando. Look at the strength there of Ivar, beautiful suplex. Dawkins hitting hard. Off the ropes, there's the big man Ivar with a massive body splash. Here's the cover Shoulders down on Angelo Dawkins. Kick it out though. Is Doc staying in it at least for now? Oh man, but look at this. Cross faces just sitting right, wrenching in. A deep shots now to Angelo Dawkins and a massive stomp right on the leg. And oh, see ya by Montez Ford. Montez sent packing this time. And now it's Angelo Dawkins, massive elbow this time now. Dawkins picking up Ivar, and Angelo Dawkins is going to launch him. It's gut wrench. Dawkins in control over the larger superstar in the matchup, Ivar. Of course, Ivar and Eric, the former World Tag Team or former NXT Tag Team Champions, beating Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser of Imperium to secure the gold. Very dominant Tag Team Champions over on the white and gold brand until they lost the gold to Cedric Alexander and Wesley of the Hurt Business. Look at this from Montez Ford having his way here in this Tag Team Showdown. Who's going to go to WrestleMania? You've got to imagine FTR, the tag champ's going to have a close eye on this contest. As Cash and Dax will look on in the back. Cover from Ford. Off the Hurricane Runner from the middle rope. Ivar going to power out at one. Chad Patton saying only a one there. And Ivar and Ford go back and forth for the time being as Ivar runs in. Massive DDT on Montez. And then Montez Ford getting absolutely lighted up here from the big man Ivar. Still got great action at coming tonight. US title on the line in a triple threat WrestleMania Money in the Bank qualifier to see who will join the likes of Mustafa Ali, Chad Gable, Ludwig Kaiser on the Bruiserweight, Pete Dunne. And the field of four thus far, which will include 4 from Raw, 4 from SmackDown as Ivar. Hitting a toe base suicide at the outside on Montez. Montez able to get to his feet. Montez back in. Ivar though. Massive kick. And a roundhouse there. A spinning heel by Ivar. The cover on Montez. The shoulders down. Scoring a 2. Kicking again by Ford. Now Ford has been put through the ringer in the past couple of weeks, man. Had a triple threat matchup 2 weeks ago, of course, the tag match against the New Day last week, and now facing off against the dominant Viking Raiders. And the Raiders' just second match here on Monday Night Raw as Montez able to connect that time. Load over into the DDT. Montez perched up tippy top rope. Ivar in trouble. Looking at the lights here. Blockbuster on the top by Montez. Into the cover. Will this be enough for the Profits? They're going to WrestleMania and Eric. Going to break up that count at 1. This one continuing live on Monday Night Raw. Oh, there's Eric sent packing to the outside. Stung there by Montez Ford. Montez now. Send Ivar out of the corner. Tag made. In comes Dawkins. Double team offense here. Eric sent packing. This could be the win here for the Street Profits. They get a shot to be 2-time World Tag Champs. And Angelo Dawkins now. Look at that. Montez sucking him in. Ivar not happy. And Angelo taking fate to the big man Ivar. Ivar wants to make the tag into Eric, but it's Dawkins. Perched up on the middle rope. Tag made. Eric legal now. As Angelo Dawkins looking to fly, but coming up short that time. Think he was aiming for Ivar, but Eric going to make him pay in the process here. Eric, look at the strength of the big man, and he just absolutely demolishes Dawkins with that powerbomb. And now look at Eric having his fun tonight. Live on Monday Night Raw from Orlando. So close to WrestleMania, just under 2 weeks away. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to miss the grandest stage of them all. The season finale of this series. It's been a hell of a ride. Angelo Dawkins going to have that gut wrench powerbomb. Dawkins able to get back to his feet. And Angelo Dawkins closed on the back of the head of Eric. Angelo Dawkins fighting back. And there's that beautiful shoulder tackle. Just barging up old boy down. Picking Eric up to a vertical base. He's on wobbly foundation. Nice knee there. And a running double knee strike. Right on the chest of Angelo Dawkins. And on the cover now. Eric and Ivar are going to WrestleMania. Scoring 2. Montez Ford. And the last possible second breaking up the count. But well, I believe Dawkins able to power that shoulder off the canvas as well. As Eric went for a cheap shot on Montez. Montez able to hang on, but not for the second time as this time. Not down a size. Eric on fire tonight on Raw. Back in the ring as Dawkins runs out with a spear to Eric. Cover. Tag title contendership on the line. Ivar breaking up the count this time. My days. And look at Ivar. Gets sent out by Angelo Dawkins. Stomp after stomp to Eric. Irish whip it in the corner now. Tag. More double team offense. Montez Ford is legal. Here we go. Montez. Beautiful drop kick and Dawkins. Beautiful splash. This could be the Profits' moment, man. To go to WrestleMania against the recently debuted team on Monday Night Raw. Eric and Ivar, the Viking Raiders, but moving out the way that time. And look at Eric. Eric, bam! The pump and the one on the knee. Cover. No, only a one that time. I believe that was a full Nelson knee strike, not a pump handle. As Eric went for Angelo Dawkins, the Monday Night Raw side of things at WrestleMania, clearly heating up, man. Io Sky challenging Kairi Sane for the Women's World title. Bobby Roode, LA Knight on the line for the Men's World Heavyweight Championship. AJ Styles, Randy Orton going one-on-one. As we found out last week, The Fiend and Samoa Joe going one-on-one. And Aleister Black and The Undertaker as well. And the others of this, Balor FT off for the gold. Let's not forget the Money in the Bank ladder match for the joint brand and the NXT title also. On the line is a double team maneuver. Not enough to secure the win for the Raiders, but that may be the beautiful handspring back elbow. But we're back live on Raw. Now it's Ivar and Angelo Dawkins legal. Montez Ford has had enough of the time being, but Angelo Dawkins could be out of it. It's a shoulder breaker from Ivar connecting. Ivar is going to head up to the top rope. Dawkins does not want to be there, ladies and gentlemen. Big man, flying, beautiful splash. That's gotta be it. Hooking the leg, shoulders down. Eric and Ivar, they're going to WrestleMania. Montez and having faith in his boy. And it's a kick out by Angelo Dawkins. He's showing his resiliency tonight. He's showing his heart. He wants to go to WrestleMania. Montez had an opportunity to go to Mania. He fumbled it. Got pinned by Kaiser in the triple threat Money in the Bank qualifier. Dawkins don't want to fumble it tonight. Hitting the silencer. Come on. Profits. Taking a shot at Mania. Turn. No, so close. Ivar's going to kick out now. It's Eric was isolated. Eric going to be putting his lucky stars that Ivar. Able to power out that pinfall there. Ivar, nice shot on midsection, fading back. And now Ivar pegging Dawkins back up to a vertical base. Ivar, driver, connecting. Drops some red in his head. Cover once more. Surely, it's got to be over. 2 count. Oh my God, Dawkins again. Able to kick out. What is this kid made of? Tag. Back in is Eric. This is what you gotta do. Eric has gotta come back in to make sure the fresher man of each team is still alive and kicking in this one, and get the fresher man of the Profits in. Montez Ford tagged back in, but in spite of his action over the last couple of weeks, would he be the fresh man? He competed in a triple threat match 2 weeks ago, and a tag match last week, a tag match tonight as well. Could be competing in a tag match at Mania, but if he does, will he be 100%? Is he even 100% in this one? Who the hell knows? But anyway, Irish whip in the corner, back in. It's Angelo Dawkins. Is baby, they're going to put him away. This is how they won the World Tag Titles in the first place. An electric chair blockbuster combination. Dawkins legal. Cover on Eric. Leg hook, shoulder down, and Ivar making the save again. Holy hell, what action in this tag team battle. FTR are going to be absolutely grinning their teeth, seeing who they will face for the World Tag Team Gold at WrestleMania. The action is personified, and it is Angelo Dawkins with a tope suicide through the sky, taking out Eric ringside. Unreal offense. Dawkins sends Eric back in and put him away. No, back to his feet. Eric and Angelo running in, back at one another, and they'll get Eric. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God, the Saito suplex. And out goes Montez Ford. Eric now gonna absolutely make a save in a clothesline on Angelo Dawkins. In the corner, Ford taken out. Irish whip, there's Eric. Oh, Jesus, look at the strength here. Overhead bell and a belly is Eric. Feeling the effects. Tag, needed it. Here's Ivar. Ivar is legal. Big stomp at the top of the head of Dawkins. And oh, Jesus, he's headed up high. Angelo in trouble. Don't want to be there. Oh, the Doomsault to the back, but I'm not sure if he got all of it. Doomsault by Ivar off the top. Coming to go to Mania. Montez Ford again. What an incredible tag team match tonight. Oh, there's Ivar. Ivar bragging Montez in. Hitting him hard, and then look at this. Oh, massive headbutt as Angelo Dawkins getting to his feet. Angelo now. Shoulders down. Profits. They go to WrestleMania. Schoolboy. 2. No. So close. Oh, the Profits almost had it. A clothesline, down goes Dogs. Tag Eric back in. Surely this has to be over, man. Surely. Irish whip again. Goes Dawkins in the corner. Tag made in comes Ivar. Here comes the double team. Viking experience. It's over. Cover from Ivar, who's legal. Eric stopping forth from making the save. The 2 and the 3, and the Viking Raiders win the mini #1 contendership tag title tournament, and they are going to WrestleMania to challenge FTR, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Harwood for the World Tag Team Championships. What action! Incredible performance for the Street Profits, but unfortunately for them, they are going to be missing out on this year's edition of WrestleMania. But these two men aren't. The former NXT Tag Team Champions have their shot to be the World Tag Champs, as right now they secure a massive win over former World Tag Team Champions with 2 victories, a part of the Monday Night Raw roster. But up next, folks, another triple threat WrestleMania Money in the Bank qualifier is going to be set to continue. Johnny Gargano, Jon Moxley and Kofi Kingston collide next live in Orlando on Monday Night Raw to see who will join Ludwig Kaiser, Chad Gable, Mustafa Ali and the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne. We find out right here, right now, with the Rebel Heart is making his way to the ring.
The following contest is a triple threat match. Making his way to the ring from Cleveland, Ohio, weighing in at 199 pounds, Johnny Gargano.
Here we go then, folks. You don't want to go anywhere. Massive triple threat action in your penultimate contest tonight. Who's going to go to WrestleMania? And the Mania Money in the Bank ladder match, what could change the career of anybody? We find out next in Orlando. We're back live on Monday Night Raw. There you see the New Days Control Frenzy of Kofi Kingston on the scene. Kofi last week on Raw getting pinned in that tag team match by Montez Ford, and the tag out between the New Day and the Profits in the first round of the mini contenders tournament. Of course, we know the Profits not going to WrestleMania, neither are the New Day, but maybe Kofi himself can punch his ticket to WrestleMania, be a part of the WrestleMania Money and the Bank ladder match. Kofi was the only man out of these three superstars in action tonight who was not a part of WrestleMania last year. Jon Moxley, a part of the Shield triple threat contest last year at WrestleMania, got pinned by eventual winner Seth freaking Rollins, who is now the WWE Champion, who will face the other Shield man, the Royal Rumble winner this year, Roman Reigns, in the main event of night 2 at WrestleMania. Meanwhile, Johnny Gargano last year at Mania was a part of the WWE Tag Team title showdown between DIY and the Undisputed Era to crown the inaugural WWE Tag Team Champions, which were won by DIY. Gargano and Ciampa being the inaugural tag champs. Of course, DIY no longer a thing after Ciampa turned his back on Gargano, but Gargano, who they're getting the last laugh, get a lot of other championship opportunities, including a US title match up against Randy Orton in Perth, Australia at No Way Out a couple of weeks back, and could be on the verge of going to WrestleMania in this triple threat matchup, as it's really getting off to a great start. Kofi now gonna send Gargano face first into the top turnbuckle as Moxley already gonna go get some weapons on the outside. Chad Patton overseeing the action tonight to see who will join the fray in the WrestleMania Money. And the Bank ladder match, Moxley steel chairs, just launching it at Kingston and sending Gargano out of the ring. Jon Moxley not playing around. Moxley, Jesus, God, look at that side on Kofi. And Gargano with a weapon. Baseball bat in hand by Johnny Wrestling, hitting Moxley over the head with it. And Moxley and Gargano have faced off in the ring before. It was a Bad Blood PLE where Moxley and Rollins defeating DIY to become the WWE Tag Team Champions before losing the gold at SummerSlam 2. The current champions, Undisputed Era, who will defend their gold against the newly debuting team of the Motor City Machine Guns for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team titles at WrestleMania. Gargano running in with a DDT on Mox. There's Kofi Kingston, get a sin. Gargano flying with an inverted suplex and Moxley from behind on Kofi, taking it back. So Moxley has had the best of Gargano in that tag match at Bad Blood. Moxley has also had the better of Kofi Kingston in singles competition as well. He's got that baseball bat, will he get the better of him here? Kofi going to take it from him. And now Kofi Kingston, beautiful uppercut there. Gargano going to stop Kingston in his track. One final big DDT on Kofi in the ring. And there's Moxley grabbing Gargano with another Saito suplex. Hitting him right in his head. As Moxley tope crossbody to Kingston now. Moxley taking out everybody and anybody. And there's Gargano with a tope, but he came up a little bit short. as Kofi still takes the fight of Jon Moxley on the outside, and Buddha DDT on the floor. Let's go Gargano. Gonna take Kofi, send him into the barricade area. A drop kick, down he goes. Gargano now. Sending Moxley back into the ring, but now Kofi gonna send Gargano back into the ring. And Kofi Kingston and Maris handiwork on the outside. Clearly on fire, Kofi Kingston. The man possessed is Jon Moxley gonna hit Gargano over the head. On the baseball bat, Kingston in the ring with a kendo stick, but it's Moxley's baseball bat which works. And then both opponents with it. Kofi in the leg, Gargano on the back. Oh, Kofi getting to his feet, the one Jon Moxley, nice shot. Kofi Kingston jawbreaker to Mox. Down goes the purveyor of violence, who's really had a downward spiral as in the past number of weeks here on Monday Night Raw has not really seemed himself as of late, as Kofi Kingston could punch his ticket of any SOS. Moxley gonna make the save. So Moxley and Gargano, former tag team champions. Kofi not held any gold in the WWE, could change it and turn it around by maybe winning the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania. Kofi massive knee to the back there as Moxley the knee to the back of Kofi Kingston. Gargano set to the outside. Now it's just Moxley and Kingston for the time being as Kofi gonna drop him off the ropes. Kofi Kingston went for the New Day splash, couldn't get it. As now it's Jon Moxley gonna turn it around. Mox picking up Kingston, wicked lariat there by Jon Moxley, and another wicked lariat. Jesus. But look at Kofi, shoulders down here, and a penny predicament. Gargano want to make the save with a kick on Kingston. And now it's Gargano off the ropes, sliding in with a flatliner. Moxley, big boot blocked by Johnny Gargano. Gargano massive kicks on Jon Moxley, and now Gargano ends up with a Hurricane Rana. Unbelievable by Johnny Wrestler. Look at Gargano, wait a minute, oh yeah! Taking out Kingston on the outside of the ring with that slingshot, corkscrew splash. Coming back in, sending Moxley into the corner. Moxley don't want to be there. Gargano now, with a long turn of Moxley. And Kofi, kendo stick shot over the head from Gargano, covering on Mox, but Gargano there to make the save. And that's high intensity triple threat contest tonight to see who will go on to the WrestleMania Money in the Bank match. Kofi set packing. Moxley in trouble. Gargano covering too. Kick out by Mox. Ain't over just yet. Moxley looking to stay alive in this one. Gargano kendo stick in hand. Jon Moxley right there going to take it from him. And Moxley with a clothesline. Oh, Moxley now picking up the baseball bat. Going to hit Gargano right in the midsection. Down the top of the head with it. To a seated Gargano. Kofi comes in and Moxley just launching it at him and a massive knee in the corner. But there's Gargano. Massive shot of his own. Gargano, shoulders down on Jon Moxley. Crucifix roll up. One count only. Kick out by Mox. Gargano drop kick by Kingston in the corner. Man, oh man. But there's Jon Moxley. Wait a minute. Picking up Johnny Wrestling. God style pile driver. And now Kofi to his feet. Gargano. Down and out, Moxley, Death Rider to Kofi Kingston. Come on, letting hook shoulders down, scoring two. They're going to mania kick out by Kofi. That was so close. Kofi taking out the Death Rider. What's Gargano? Oh my, gonna take out Moxley with a Hurricane Rana. And then Moxley to his feet. Gargano launching a chair right in the head of Mox. Jon Moxley getting to his feet. Gargano are going to WrestleMania to be a part of the Money in the Bank ladder match. But they're going to the stage of them all. Gargano escape. Submission hold. Cinched in tight. Nowhere for Mox. They're going. Kofi Kingston comes in to make the save. Oh, but what's Kofi doing? Turning the attention of Moxley. And going to hit Trouble in Paradise. But he's going for the cover. Moxley not going to be putting away because Gargano going to make the save. Gargano now crucifix the Kingston. Penny predicament shot pattern there. Scoring turning on the Mania. He got him. Gargano's going to WrestleMania. Gargano with a huge win. And a triple threat today. Oh my. Johnny Gargano. A massive upset victory. Punching his ticket to the grandest stage of them all. WrestleMania. He will now be a part of the WrestleMania Money in the Bank ladder match, joining the likes of Raw's Ludwig Kaiser, Raw's Mustafa Ali, SmackDown's Chad Gable, and SmackDown's Bruiserweight Pete Dunne. Congratulations, Gargano, and a pretty pretty quick triple threat compared to the other qualifiers we've seen. That just breezed by. That was a hell of a lot of fun and a hell of a win for Johnny Gargano, who could be on the cusp of championship gold here in this series. We saw his great effort against Randy Orton, No Way Out. That may just be a teaser of what Gargano can be capable of here in the series to come. Congratulations, Gargano. We'll see you in the WrestleMania Money and the Bank ladder match. But up next, folks, it is now time for your main event of the evening. As the United States title is on the line, as number one contender AJ Styles can be watching on as Rob Van Dam challenging the champion, the Viper, Randy Orton next. And your main event of the evening. It was last week on Monday Night Raw in the opening contest with the phenomenal AJ Styles was able to punch his ticket to WrestleMania and become the number one contender for the United States Championship by defeating the former United States Champion and one of the most, if not the most resilient superstars on the roster, and Sami Zayn. But tonight, we find out who Styles' WrestleMania opponent will be. Will it be the man that AJ Styles defeated at No Way Out Premium Live event for the WWE Championship last year? Not the most previous No Way Out, but the one last year, back in Montreal. Or will it be the man that Styles has faced off with not once, but twice in singles competition, losing to Randy Orton back at Armageddon inside a steel cage, but beating the Viper in the quarterfinal stages of the King of the Ring tournament. AJ wants the rubber match with the Viper. He may get it in Mania, but he may face Rob Van Dam, a man he's beaten before in the past, with the Universal Championship gold on the line last year at No Way Out. We find out, man, it's a huge opportunity for Rob Van Dam. I mean, speaking of the King of the Ring tournament, it was RVD and Randy Orton who met in the first round of the King of the Ring tournament, with, of course, Randy getting the win to go on to the quarterfinals to face the phenomenal AJ Styles, of course, losing to Styles in there. Styles went on to beat Bobby Roode in the semi-finals, who is now the World Heavyweight Champion here in this series, but then lost to the current WWE Champion, Seth freaking Rollins, who is the King of the Ring winner, and of course now the WWE Champion, who will be main event in WrestleMania against former Shield brethren Roman Reigns, who is the Royal Rumble winner. But it was Randy Orton at the Royal Rumble Premium Live event in Indianapolis, Indiana. He was able to win that championship from Sami Zayn, and a great matchup, beating Zayn in a rematch following it as well. And then went on to defeat Johnny Gargano, as we mentioned in the previous contest at No Way Out in Perth, Australia. 2 successful defences for Randy Orton in his reign as US Champion thus far. Can he get it started against a man he's already defeated in the past? And the whole effing show, Rob Van Dam in your main event tonight in Orlando, Florida's edition of Monday Night Raw, just under 2 weeks away from the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. Gonna be a hell of a fun main event tonight on Raw, a match we've saw in the past, and a match I'm very much happy to be calling again. It's incredible chemistry between these two legends in the business. Rob Van Dam has only had about 2 wins here in this Universe Mode series. 2 singles match victories. 1 tag team victory as well, I believe. So let's see if he can pick up his 4th win of the series and become the new United States Champion and go on to face the number 1 contender AJ Styles at WrestleMania in last year's No Way Out rematch for the US title. Crowd ready for this one, as am I. Is that what they are fighting for in your main event tonight? The beautiful, prestigious and confident WWE United States title on Monday Night Raw. Let's head down to the ring now with the official ring introductions from Mr. Mike Rowe.
From Battle Creek, Michigan, weighing in at 235 pounds, Rob Van Dam. And his opponent from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing in at 275 pounds, the WWE United States Champion, the Viper, Randy Orton.
Thank you, mate. Tremendous introductions for both these superstars who are going to close out what have been a spectacular edition of Monday Night Raw this evening, with that United States Championship hanging in the balance. It's all for the red, white, blooming gold, as I gotta imagine the number 1 contender AJ Styles looking on very closely to see who he will face for that US Championship. at WrestleMania. After he beat former champion Sami Zayn, earned a shot at WrestleMania. He deserves to be a part of WrestleMania. It's AJ Styles. He has never missed a premium live event this series. He has always competed at every single event. Whether he's won, whether he's lost, doesn't matter. He has competed at every single one. And he wants WrestleMania to be his best performance today. Which, I mean, he's had some great performances, so WrestleMania being his best one is very much difficult since he's had some great ones in the past. But who will he be facing at Mania? Because he's already locked in for Mania. Will it be RVD or will it be Randy Orton for the United States title? He wants to get his rubber match with the Viper, but he'd also love to face RVD again. He'd done it at No Way Out last year in Montreal for the Universal title after RVD was subbed in for an injured Drew McIntyre to take the place of Drew in that Universal title contest. It was a hell of a match that night. Styles was not expecting to see RVD, but he got the win at the end. Just like most RVD matches, but he always shows out and puts on a great performance. Flying over the ropes there with that tope. Suicida taking out the Viper. Randy Orton into the ring, don't want to be there. It's Rob Van Dam going to slingshot him with a crossbody to Randy. Cover. United States Championship on the line. Leg hook shoulders down in your main event too. No. Just scoring two that time. It was the whole epic show. Rob Van Dam, WrestleMania right around the corner. As is NXT TakeOver stand and deliver for the white and gold brand as well. Look at Randy. Went for a shot there. Blocked and countered by the Viper, picking up RVD. Randy Orton just going to launch Rob Van Dam there. And now look at this. He's got that head and now yanking it into the mat time and time again. Slam after slam by Randy Orton. There's Orton and RVD going back and forth for the time being tonight in your Raw main event in Orlando for the United States Championship. This is the only real question mark we have for WrestleMania. Who will be facing AJ Styles in defension of the United States Championship? Will it be the current champ Randy Orton or will it be Rob Van Dam? Could it be a triple threat for the gold? We will wait and see, but RVD went for that flipping center off the top. Orton able to have him scouted. And not with a clothesline at the back of the neck now. Randy Orton, we're going to pick apart RVD and slow down the pace. We know Orton likes to keep the pace of the match up slow and methodical. We know RVD likes to fly there in the ring, as you see right there, with a monkey flip to the Viper. So Orton's going to keep him grounded, keep in control, and dictate the pace of this United States Championship matchup. And as RVD lighting up the chest right now of Randy Orton with these beautiful roundhouse kicks, going him right in the chest. Orton don't know where he is. Clearly on Dream Street, and Randy Orton getting hung out to dry, throat first, in the crowd, letting everybody know their favourite to win this matchup. With them saying RVD in unison, went for a nice standing moonsault that time. Orton able to get back to a vertical base, and Orton going to pick up Rob Van Dam with his feet, a fall away slam on the whole effing show now. Oh, Randy Orton hearing them voices in his head, but the voices are telling him to stay on RVD, that's exactly what he's going to do. Big boot there, hooks him, and nice bit on the belly. Aye, the Viper, Randy Orton clearly utilising everything out of his arsenal and now just going to stomp away on Rob Van Dam. Stomping on all the limbs, right at the chest and now right at the head of RVD. US title on the line. Here today live on Raw, your main event. Thank you very much for being here tonight. We're getting very close to the end of the series. Live on KO Productions. Orton, nice shot on RVD. More shots connecting right at the chest, right at the face, should I say, of the challenger RVD. Is Van Dam getting launched again? Another exploder by Randy Orton, taking a page out of the playbook of the former United States champion, Sami Zayn, who clearly likes doing exploder suplexes, but now it's Randy Orton putting RVD against the barricade. RVD moving out of the way that time, and RVD going to send Orton there, and I think we know what's coming. We see this a lot from RVD, and it's a vintage manoeuvre from the whole effing show. You talk about Orton with his vintage DDT, that's trademark Randy, this is trademark Rob Van Dam. Listen to the people. And now, the guillotine leg drop as Orton tripped on the barricade. RVD has his opportunity. United States Championship is on the line. Sending Orton in the ring. Picking him up to a vertical base. Van Dam has this one in the back perhaps. In the corner goes Randy Orton. Well, we have a new champion. Styles may be looking on, seeing a challenge on the horizon at Mania. Van Dam split leg and moonsault, title on the line. Come on, leg hook, shoulders down. 2 count, kicked out by Orton. Unreal. And now Van Dam, keep it up the pace. That's what you gotta do. Keep your foot in the gas pedal. Springboard in with the moonsault. 2 for the title now. Still not enough. RVD cannot put away Randy Orton. Still not yet. We're going to lock in a submission here. Oh, look at this. A tarantula by Rob Van Dam, or Indian Deathlock, I should say. Shades of the Great Muta. Is Rob Van Dam going to lock in tight? Championship on the line. AJ Styles going to be on the edge of his seat in this championship matchup. Is Chad Patton checking on the champion Orton to see if he taps or passes out due to the pain, but he's going to stay alive, at least for the time being, in this United States Championship affair. Randy Orton comes back in and now, oh, classic big punch to the head. Nothing fancy, but I'm sure effective. But RVD clearly not effective enough. Back to his feet, shoulders down, pinning predicament, leg scissors, 2 for the title. No, almost had him again. Rob Van Dam almost had him. Big kick on Randy. Kick caught. Kick to the hammy. By the Viper. And the RKO out of nowhere. By the champion who covers Van Dam. Title on the line. 2 count. And no, kicked out by RVD. What action in your Monday Night Raw main event tonight. Live in Orlando, Florida. United States Championship up for grabs. Here tonight on Raw. Randy Orton had enough of Rob Van Dam. We're going to send him right back into the corner once again with a big shot. Randy Orton tippy top rope. We've saw this a lot from the Viper. We'll see it again. Superplex by Orton. Is Van Dam hurting? Rolling to the outside. Rolling to the ropes. Trying to catch a breather. But not quite going to get that breather. But Van Dam, elbow. And now Van Dam with that springboard kick. Heading up to the top. Title on the line. Van Dam. 5-star frog splash. Cover for the goal. Leg hook, shoulders down. Scoring 2. He gone. No. Randy Orton going to kick out again. What a main event. Live on Monday Night Raw. And if you think this action is great tonight, just wait till you get a hold of the final Monday Night Raw before the end of the series next week. Right here live on the Red Brand. We're going to see the Ring General Gunther in action. He wants to be a part of WrestleMania. Well, next week he's going on one-on-one with Jon Moxley on Raw. Want to solidify his space on the WrestleMania card if there's any more room left. It's Van Dam with another beautiful shot. Cover. Rolling Thunder. 2 count. Kick out by Randy Orton again. Jesus, my God. Also next week, 2 superstars who have qualified for the WrestleMania Money in the Bank ladder match apart of the Monday Night Raw brand are going to go one-on-one. Ludwig Kaiser and Mustafa Ali trying to build momentum for the WrestleMania Money in the Bank ladder match. They'll face off one-on-one next week on Monday Night Raw. And man, oh man, this is absolute chaos tonight. Here live on the Red Brand. Randy Orton got Van Dam against the ropes, and oh Jesus, God, look at the Viper here. Drop some of that vintage DDT, the trademark style from Orton. Setting up on Van Dam, setting up for one, fatal RKO. That'll do it. Orton to retain, leg is hook, shoulders down, scoring 2. No, kick out. A kick out by RVD. Are you freaking kidding me? Holy hell. We're also going down next week, the final Raw Money in the Bank qualifier for the WrestleMania Money in the Bank ladder match. Is going to be taking place with Tommaso Ciampa, Sami Zayn, and someone to be determined. Competing in triple threat action in your main event next week on Raw is also to be determined, which really depends on the winner of this contest, because AJ Styles going to be in action, as well as the World Tag Team Champs FTR, as well as the number 1 contenders Eric and Ivar of the Viking Raiders, and the winner of this matchup will join them in 6-man tag team action next week on the main event of Monday Night Raw. A back and forth they just went moments ago is Randy Orton getting the upper hand, but RVD getting a nice shot out of the corner, but Orton just letting him up, but RVD, nice counter kick to the leg, and a Rob Van Dam hooking in the Viper, looking to put him away. God style power driver title on the line. Van Dam cover for the US title to go on to WrestleMania to face AJ Styles in the fence. Another goal, kicked out by Orton again. So close yet so far away. No cigar for Van Dam. But he is very damn high, and he's high on the top with another 5-star frog splash. That's gonna be it. New champion. That's close to WrestleMania. Shake up the Cardamania now. Almost shaking up that card. Almost went on a face Styles, but missing there with that 5-star. He got the 5-star, but he missed with a 3 count. Orton's still alive somehow, but Van Dam letting him up with multiple kicks. Orton, no, not like this. Schoolboy to retain the Intimania's champion. RVD's gonna kick out. Incredible main event tonight on Raw. Orton RKO nowhere. RKO. Holy smokes, what action. Orton not done with another one. That's 4 in the match. Thanks for coming, RVD. He's gonna suffer a second loss to that Viper, and he does. Orton retains the United States title in your main event. What a match. Holy smokes. Well, there you go. Now we're locked in for the main event next week on Raw. Let me tell you all right now. It'll be AJ Styles and the Viking Raiders taking on Randy Orton and FTR. FTR KO in 6-man tag team action. That's next week on Monday Night Raw. You don't want to miss a second of the action. But right now, in Orlando, it's Randy Orton standing tall. He'll go on to WrestleMania to face AJ Styles in their rubber match for the United States Championship on the grandest stage of them all. But what a great effort from Rob Van Dam tonight, and what a great matchup from both competitors. What a great show all round live from Orlando on the flagship, the Red Brand Monday Night Raw. That's all we have time for here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us. WrestleMania right around the corner. You won't want to miss a second of the action as Randy Orton celebrates in triumph tonight, live on Monday Night Raw. We'll see you tomorrow for another exciting installment of NXT as we're on the build to NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver, the NXT equivalent of WrestleMania. You don't want to miss that, folks. Until then, we'll see you soon. Take care, take it easy, and peace.